Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Francesa 5 for what is divisional playoff weekend for many I got Giant fans on my head because of Harbaugh, but for many football fans. As a matter of fact, if we took a vote with all the millions and millions and millions and millions of NFL fans, and we asked them their favorite playoff weekend, they would vote this one. This one would get at least 40% of the vote. There's no question. It might even get 50. It's considered the best weekend because you have the 1 seeds playing. If you have a team that's a little soft, you get rid of it, okay? And now you have 4 matchups, storylines, and everything else in divisional playoff weekend. After that, you're down to just 3 games on the season, so they dwindle to a precious few. But here we go. Saturday, Bills and Broncos. Broncos have had an amazing season under Sean Payton with their defense. A lot of people don't believe. Here's why. Now, number one, they're playing Buffalo and they're dealing with Josh Allen, which you understand. But they are only, since we have gone to this format, they are only the second 1 seed to be underdog in this round. The other was the Philadelphia Eagles against the Atlanta Falcons a few years ago, and if you remember, the Eagles wore those crazy dog masks because they were all wearing a dog mask because they were underdogs, and they wound up winning the game and having a big run, and they were very much motivated by very incensed. Now, I know that they were in there trying to get to prompt the young Broncos about being underdogs. But since it is the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen, it takes a little different look. They know why they're underdogs. Hey, the Buffalo Bills have been a juggernaut that has fallen short to Kansas City or to Cincinnati or, year after year in the playoffs. They've got one of the great players, a quarterback who's going to be an immortal when he retires, okay, a lock Hall of Famer. So they understand why they are a very slight underdog. I don't think they're taking it as the affront that the Eagles did. But you know that Sean will, and I know Sean very well, have for a very long time. He will use anything. He will use this. He will use anything. You're an underdog in your own building. That's how little they think of you. He'll forget the Josh Allen part. But it does make some sense to be kind of a pick'em game, and that's what it is. The Bills are right now a half a point favorite, which I don't even remember seeing. It's usually pick'em. I don't remember seeing a half point in one of these games. They were one when it opened. I saw yesterday it actually tilted the Broncos one for a little while. Now it has swung back again. It's probably going to go back and forth. Here's the way you view the game, a lot of people, and it's the way I view the game. The game's going to be tight. If the game's 17-17 in the fourth quarter, who do you think is going to drive the ball to win? Josh Allen or Knicks? You think Josh Allen is. Just like last week, was it going to be Trevor Lawrence? Well, Trevor drove it twice into the lead in the fourth quarter. But you know what? They made him do it 3 times to win the game. And the third time, he wound up getting a ball deflected and intercepted. And it didn't work out. But you had more lead changes in the fourth quarter of that game than any game in history. That's what it took for the Bills to actually win a game on the road, which they hadn't since 1992. And you're facing a guy who has been great. I mean, Josh Allen's numbers in the postseason are scary good, but he has had a lot of heartbreak. Could he have heartbreak in this game? Absolutely. Could Denver win this game? Yes. Is this game going to be close? Yes, I think it is. I don't think Buffalo's going to blow out Denver. Their defense is too good. And Sean's too tricky, and Knicks has got a little something where he shows up in the fourth quarter of these games and he makes plays with his arms, with his legs. That this will be a lot like the Jacksonville game. But when the smoke clears, I think Buffalo's going to be in front. Why? Because they have Josh Allen. No other reason. No other reason they have Josh Allen. And that's why I did that before the playoffs started. Would you take Josh and Stafford, or would you take the 1 seeds? I said, I would take Josh and Stafford. I'll take the quarterbacks. They both put their team back in front in the final minute to win on the road in week 1. That's how hard it was. Rams had to make a great play with 32 seconds left to take the lead. Buffalo had a Josh had to find the end zone with 58 seconds left to take the lead. That's how hard it was to win on the road. It's not gonna be easier this week, but I think Buffalo will find a way. Niners and Seahawks. The Seahawks are now 7.5-point favorites. Listen, Kittle's a huge loss. They're very banged up. They don't have a defense. They don't have a pass rush. They don't stop the run. Seattle pushed them all over the field a couple of weeks ago, and Seattle's good. But you have to acknowledge how talented the coaching staff is for the Niners on offense and how good McCaffrey is. And I could see the game. I could see Seattle up 10, and I could see the Niners getting a backdoor cover and losing the game by 3. I think Seattle will win the game. I think the Niners will cover the 7.5. Give me the Niners plus the 7.5. But I do think and in the playoffs, it's funny. It's something that I go way back with. It's an old adage that Brent Musburger had way, way back in the NFL today days, back in the 80s. He used to say, "You don't have to pick the winner in the playoffs. Just pick the winner. The point spread will follow." I don't think it does in this game, meaning that most of the time the winning team will cover the point spread. This time it's a 7.5-point spread. I think the Niners, because of their offense, could get an easy backdoor cover. Seattle being cautious, exchanging ground and time for yardage, lets them get into the end zone. They get into the end zone with McCaffrey, and then they lose by 3. I think that could happen. Um, Give me the Niners plus the 7.5. I just think it's too many points. The Texans and the Pats. I made this game Pats won. I said I even thought it could go to pick because of the prowess of the Houston defense. It hasn't moved from 3. I would take the Texans plus the 3. I think their defense is better. Now, Stroud's got to play better than he did. He turned the ball. He had 5 fumbles, of which he lost 2. He also had a bad interception. He has got to play better. The Pats didn't play well on offense. They played great on defense. The Texans are the best defense in the league by a lot. I think May has a real tough going over. I think that Anderson and Hunter won't be denied. I think the Texans win the game. Probably really ugly, low scoring, a lot of sacks, a lot of punishment. Probably 19-16 or something like that. Give me the Texans plus the 3. And then, listen, I've been on the Rams. I picked the Rams to win the Super Bowl before the season started. I picked him to go before the playoffs started. I picked Rams Bills. I picked Rams Ravens to start the season. I think it's a Ram year. The one thing that worries me about the 2 things worry me about the Rams, and I have a great respect for their coach, but 2 things worry me. Number 1, they're very, very bad at holding a lead. Number 2, they are rotten on special teams, and that has already reared its head. It almost cost them the game last week against Carolina. They fired their special teams coach, but you know what? You're not gonna fix that in week 14. Sorry, you might be a great head coach, but you're not gonna fix that in week 14. They are very, very weak, and I learned a long time ago, never take the foot out of football. And I know another coach who told me, "When you get a punt blocked in a big game, you lose that game almost every time." Well, they didn't lose it last week. They came back with 32 seconds left and won it, but they almost lost it to a team that was inferior because they got the punt blocked. The Bears and their quarterback are scary. Their quarterback becomes the magic man in the 4th quarter. I mean, like few I've seen in a long time. He is building an incredible reputation as this comeback kid. It's it's wild. It's impressive. And he has become the magic man, there's no question about that. Stafford's the MVP. Nakua is the best wide receiver I have seen, maybe ever. I would put him on a level with Lance Allworth. All around. Now, he did have a rare drop last week, which is very rare for him. He also has amazing catches every week. He carries the ball as a runner. He blocks. There's nothing he doesn't do. He is an incredible player. One of the great receivers I've ever seen. Maybe as good as any I've ever seen. Uh, the Rams, I think, are the best team. That doesn't mean they have to get here, and it doesn't mean they have to survive this game. The line has gone up to 4. I'm not gonna nitpick. At 3, I'd pick the Rams, so at 4, I'm not gonna pick the Bears. I'm afraid of the Bears. I'm afraid of them in the 4th quarter, and you may be holding your breath. And this is probably gonna be a shootout, but I can't wait for the game. And I'll stick with the Rams -4 because I've been on them since August, so I'm not gonna get off them now. But, I am very, very fearful of what the Bears can do because if that game wasn't over last week when they were down 18 at the half and they're down 11 with 6 minutes left and they come back and win the game, anything is possible. Looking forward to it. So give me the Bills, give me the Niners plus 7.5, give me the Texans plus 3, give me the Rams -4. And I see that the Indiana-Miami game, and I'll give you a full blowout on this on Monday, but there's no line they can make where I would not pick Indiana. See, I think there comes a point in certain years where there's nothing the odds maker can do. He cannot make the line high enough. Whatever he makes the line, they're going to go over it. This line has gotten extreme. This game, this is a home game for Miami, and they're 8.5-point underdogs. This Indiana team, you realize this quarterback has had 8 touchdown passes and 5 incompletions. Not 5 interceptions, 5 incompletions. He has demolished Alabama and Oregon, not beaten them, embarrassed them. He has been almost letter perfect on every blitz. You can't blitz him. He's almost 100% efficiency against the blitz. Not 80%, 60%, 100%. He couldn't make a line I wouldn't pick Indiana with. Sign up for the free Mike Francesa newsletter. You get exclusive content, contests, and offers. Go to MikeFrancesaPodcast.com and sign up now. So check that out. Do that today. Enjoy your divisional playoff weekend. We have the championship game, of course, in college on Monday night. This Indiana team writing one of the great stories in college sports history. We'll see if they have one final chapter to write. We'll see you later.